everyone, welcome back. If you are new here, hi, my name is Stacey and I'm an infidelity coach. I work with unfaithful women who had an affair. I help them heal and recover. I also work with married couples who've experienced infidelity and who want to recover in their marriage and completely heal and come out better than they were before. I also work with betrayed spouses. I help them understand their unfaithful spouse a little bit better and what they're going through so they can relate to them. And I help them learn how to communicate better with each other so they can actually overcome infidelity together and come out stronger. So if you would like to know more about one-on-one private coaching, which is what I offer, I will leave a link down below and you can schedule a 30-minute free chat with me and we can go over some things. And I can tell you the process and the stages of, what it looks like working with me and what you can expect once we're done. Okay, so let's get into the video. So in today's video, I really wanted to talk about why affairs are so addictive, because the more it goes, and even from my own experience, I'm learning how much people struggle with trying to end an affair, trying to break off an affair, and all of that, and how it's just this huge cycle of once you get in the trap of infidelity, it is extremely hard to get out. So I want to talk about what makes them so addictive, and if you never ever considered infidelity as an addiction, then you might want to stay tuned for this video, because I really believe that it is, just not just from my experience and the physical and mental things that I went through, but from my clients, what I hear from them. So I never really thought of infidelity as an addiction. It just never occurred to me, when I was having an affair. I know I felt this uneasiness, this almost agitation inside of me when we wasn't together, but I didn't know what that was really. It wasn't until after I came out of recovery and I started learning about, hey, what was going on with me, that I started to really learn and discover what's going on behind the scenes of being in love, and infatuated and all of that. So I have learned that, and I'm gonna leave the name of the book that I read talking about love and love addiction and stuff down below, so you guys can check it out if you want. She's I can't think of her name right now, but she's a neuroscientist, and she did some study on the love in the brain and that kind of thing, and it was really interesting, and it really helped me put in perspective what I was going through and how I could get a better control over the situation. But yeah, so basically being in love is the same as someone smoking crack, or doing cocaine. It's the same. The behavior is the same in an affair as if someone was on drugs or a drug addict. The irrational behavior, the sporadicness. When someone becomes attracted, like when you become attracted to your affair partner, okay, if you're at work or, you meet them at work or just wherever, and you feel this little attraction, this connection, we call it, and you guys start talking. When that starts happening, you set off a series of chemical and hormonal changes in your brain, and that gets the addiction started. So I want to talk a little bit, quickly. Let's go behind the scenes chemically of what is going on with us, and not the ooey gooey, my palms are sweaty, my heart is beating fast, or I can feel my heart beating, the butterflies in my stomach. Let's get past that. Let's just look a little bit behind the scenes and see what's going on in our bodies, because God made us a body. We live in this body. We're soul, which is our mind, will, and emotions, and we have a spirit. So we have, to heal from all of this, we need to address the three aspects of who we are. So the chemical process that goes on when we fall in love has to be looked at, in order to get out of this. You just can't get rid of one without the other. So what happens is, when we enter the attachment stage of, like infatuation, our brains produce changes in neurochemicals that alter our perception of reality. And I have some notes here, so I'm kind of glancing down. And to me, this is where the fog begins to settle. If you're familiar in the affair recovery community, they talk a lot about affair fog, what is it and stuff. And essentially, when these chemicals begin to get produced in our brains and stuff, it does alter our reality. So, for example, your husband becomes a villain and your affair partner becomes the hero. So that's actually how your mind begins to see it. You know, you begin to see reality in a different way. You begin to see, well, my affair partner can offer me everything that my husband cannot offer me. And the reality of that situation is, if you look at a pie and you cut it into pieces, your affair partner is actually just giving you one piece of that pie, where your husband is giving you all of the pieces. He's just missing one piece. You know, so your husband might not give you enough attention, or he might not give you enough words of affirmation. You know, whatever your love language is, your husband might be missing one little piece, but he fills in the spot all in the others, because many women say, well, my husband's a good guy, he's a good father, he does this for me, this, and this, but he doesn't do this over here. So the affair partner comes in and he offers you one little slice of the pie, and you think, well, that's all I need. Well, it's the whole thing. So that's how your perception of reality gets altered. Is we think that, oh, he's just fulfilling one need, so then he can take care of everything else. You know, that's all I need is this one little part of the pie, when actually you really do need the whole pie. And if, you know, you and your husband just learn some communication and how to strengthen your marriage and stuff, then that other piece would come and fit right in, and you would have the whole pie with your husband. So that's kind of how our reality is altered, and it's something that we need to pay attention to. But it's really hard for us to do that when the fog settles over our minds, when dopamine is flooding our system with, you know, a reward, because the big chemical player that is in this whole thing is dopamine. It is our reward chemical. When we associate something with feel good, it floods our body and says, yay, I won, jackpot. You know, you are my reward system. I need you to feel good. I want to be with you to feel good. You know, and that just keeps going in our body. And if we're married and we don't do fun, exciting things, you know, as time goes on, we have to keep dopamine, you know, high at a high level. And if we don't, you know, learn how to do that, then dopamine gets low and it stays low. And it makes it easy for, you know, someone to come in and cause a little excitement. And if we really don't know how to manage attraction to someone outside of marriage, and manage temptation and manage our desires and things like that, then we'll give in. You know, because if we do work with this person, even if we don't work with them, like the person that I had an affair with, I saw him periodically, probably once or twice a month, in the beginning, and that was enough to, you know, get me all excited. And I'll tell you something about dopamine that I learned also during recovery was fantasies. You know, so if you fantasize about your affair partner, or fantasize what it could be like with this potential affair partner, that will reward you with dopamine as well, because your brain doesn't have to have that person right in front of you in the physical form to flood your system. Just the thought of them will bring that excitement and keep you, you know, excited with them. So once you begin that kind of reaction with, you know, say you start the affair and we're having an affair and I'm excited and you're my reward and I love you and, you know, I just want to be with you, when they go away, like when you don't see them, you know, for a little while, or you don't talk to him, you start to feel empty and unsettled inside, and that agitation of, I just have to see you, you know, and if I don't see you, I don't feel good. But the minute you see them, then you get almost a relief. You feel better. You're like, or you might get that morning text, you know, good morning, beautiful, or how was your night, beautiful, or something like that. And you're like, oh, I feel so much better. Now I can just go about my day. I can do what I need to do. You feel relieved. And that is why, because dopamine needs that boost to keep going. And this is a lot of what happens when we get in cycles. I hear from a lot of ladies who say, okay, Stacey, I tried to break it off. I really did. But then like 2 weeks later, he called me, or I called him, and we were back together because I couldn't take the pain. I just didn't feel right. I didn't feel good. I was miserable. But as soon as I heard his voice, I felt so much better. It was just like a big sigh of relief. And that's why. It's because, it's because of our chemicals. And that's how the cycle starts. That's how the cycle stays. That's how, people will tell me we've been trying to break off an affair for 4 or 5 years, and we can't. We try, we fail, we try, and this is why, because we don't know that once we end the affair, we need to expect a drop in dopamine. We need to expect that motivation to come, to call them, that feeling of I miss you, that feeling of once I call them, I will feel relief. Yes, you will get relief if you call them, but you're right back in the cycle again, because in 2 weeks, 2 days, you're gonna have to get another hit. And that's what I call it. It's like another hit, and for me, that's what it was. I needed another hit, and once I got it, I was good, Once I talked to him, I was fine. Once I saw him, I was fine. Until maybe 2 days later, and then I didn't hear from him, or I didn't see him, and I needed to hear him so I could just go about my day. And that's the part that we have to break. That's the cycle that we have to break. And the thing is, you can break it. And, I want to tell you, if you're feeling hopeless, if you're feeling like you're stuck in this affair and you can't get out, you don't know how to get out, I can help you get out. But most importantly, I want you to know you can get out. You don't have to be in this relationship forever. And not only that, but you are not going to be labeled as an adulterous person where you feel like you could just fall at any minute into another affair, or you feel like you could go back to your affair partner any minute and just feel powerless. Because, if you believe that you are what you do, that takes all of your power away. Then you feel like you have no control over yourself, your mind, your body. Just anybody off the street could come in and get you, or your affair partner could call you at any time, and you will just give right back into them and say, okay, yeah, I'm back on the, the train, or the merry-go-round, let's do this again, until we know it's too hard and we have to stop. You are not powerless, okay? You are not what you do. We have desires. God made us with desires. He made us, actually the Bible talks about temptation, and it says that temptation comes from us. It comes from our desires that we don't know how to manage. You're attracted to somebody at work. Okay, so what? You don't have to sleep with them. You don't have to have an affair with them. You're just attracted to them. You're lonely. Your husband's not paying attention to you. Okay, that's very valid. I get that. And somebody's talking to you at work or wherever. But you don't have to start an affair with them. You do have the power. You do have the power to rise up out of this and to completely heal. And when I say completely heal, I mean come out as a transformed person, transformed thoughts, no longer subject to your desires. Your emotions don't control you anymore. You have control over that. You are the person that you want to be, because in an affair, we're like, I don't want to be this person. I don't even know who this person is. That's how I was. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, like, who are you? And I don't want to be this way. I don't want to be led around by my emotions just because my husband might not be doing what he should be doing. I don't want to be that. I want to be stable and be okay on my own. And that's what I'm talking about. That's coming out completely healed, completely saying, if I saw them, I would not give in to them because they don't have anything to offer me. That's where I want you to get to. That's the place I want you to be. And that's the place I want you to know that you can be. You can get there. So have hope for that. And like I said, if you need help getting there, if you want to work with me, check the description box below. And I really hope you guys found this video helpful. And be patient. Breaking this addiction takes time. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with your spouse. It's hard work. It's not easy. It takes a little time, but it can be done. You can be free from infidelity and be free from the labels that society places on you and become a better, stronger woman, a woman that God created you to be. So I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.